we worked a lot from the mid-level finishes. Well, those mid-level finishes kind of lead up into our high finishes, meaning high, meaning where the leg is above our waist, either in our armpit or up high, okay, up high on our chest. All right, so they all kind of come together, and this is definitely a part of chain wrestling. And the first chain wrestling that we're going to do off of into our high finishes is from the low finish, from the mid-level finish. So in the mid-level, we worked our flank. Like I said, the flank is like one of my favorite things to go right off the bat because it throws you in that position, it gets the guys moving, and what it does also is it leads you up to a high finish. So when I got that mid-level finish, okay, I'm not starting with the leg attack, I'm starting with the leg up. So now, my mid-level finish, I'm here, I got my knees pinched, I'm in good strong position, my elbows are back, my hands are hidden, okay? Head's a good position. Well now, when I flank across him, you know, Mike's a little bit athletic, he's gonna stay on his feet, okay? Well, I'm gonna continue that momentum, that motion of going around the backside, and I'm going to bring it all the way up, okay? Now, there's two finishes that come along with this flank to the finish. One, you hit it so clean that you just swipe him up from underneath this, you know, swipe his feet from right underneath him, okay? Especially if you're able to do it fast. So when I'm in this mid-level finish here, okay, I'm working my flank. I start running this backside while he's staying up. So as I'm going, I'm going to be clearing this leg out. See from here, I'm running that backside, I clear this leg out. Now from here, I'm gonna take his leg up and kind of back, and momentum will take that leg right out from underneath him. Or I go here, right down, okay? When you get to high finishes, you know, guys get so good at defense. They get so good at pushing you away, keeping you at distance. It's almost sometimes harder to finish up high than it is down low sometimes, okay? Just because of flexibility of guys, okay? So when I do bring that leg up, I want to look to finish fast. And this is a really good way to be able to finish fast, where I'm moving them from that mid-level to a high-level finish, okay? So whether I hit it from my attack down here, bam, I hit my single leg, I come up here, I flank. Okay, I start moving that backside. I clear that leg. As I'm flanking, I clear that leg. Now, this is what's important. I'm ripping this leg from the calf up across on an angle. My hand that's on the flank is going to come off, and it's going to go elbow deep on the knee. Okay, it's going to go elbow deep on the knee. And as I pull him up, it's going to pull him right out, right to the mat. Right there. So, this is something that happens with speed, okay? As I'm flanking, as I'm moving, I'm getting that corner, well, I clear my leg out, whoo, I take the carpet right from underneath them, right down to the mat. That's ideal, that's perfect finish, okay? Perfect world finish, okay? So from that single leg, I get it up, okay? I flank, I start moving, I clear, boom. Looking to take them down from there. Emphasis on that. And when it's here, I'm cupping low. You always see that I'm grabbing low by his heel or low by his ankle, kind of like by his Achilles tendon right here. Okay, you'll feel on the wrestling shoes, those low cut ones, right there. This is kind of like, from here, he can't bend his knee. He's not as strong to do this. Like to pull your heel down, okay? The higher I am up here, the easier and stronger he is. So when I'm clearing, I'm always far back here. I'm yanking it up, and I'm taking this with me. Boom, right up. Here, flank, boom. Ready to my takedown from there. And I'm keeping it. See how I kind of kept his leg right here? I'm looking to cover. Okay, rather than letting go of everything, him having a chance to get up. I hold on to that ankle, I'm able to flat him out and finish behind him. Okay, now, if I'm going on that and I'm not able to rip his leg straight out, well, I got to add a trip to it, okay? And just being able to add that trip really is going to help, secure that takedown a little bit more. Now, from that trip, I'm not going to be kicking low. I'm going to think of it as hooking. So I'm kind of hooking his leg. So as I pull it across, I take it up here. As I'm taking it up here, I'm going to hook that leg and set him down to the mat. So from this single leg here, I'm running this pipe. Okay, I'm running the flank here. I'm here, I clear. Now as I come up, instead of taking that sweep out from him, I'm taking it up, and now I'm stepping in. And I'm going to trip down to the mat. Okay? So from here, I flank, I'm going to hold on to that leg. Then I secure, and then I can take him down. Okay? So I'll show you fast motion, where I take that leg out, I sweep his leg out from underneath, and then I kick. So from here, get up, I flank, boom. Okay, it's momentum. Flank, running backside, take it out. Take his leg out from right underneath him. 2, I'm here, I flank, I get it up, I'm into him. Taking him down. Notice that when I pull his leg up, I'm pulling it up here, high to where my neck is, where my collarbone is, and my hips are always in. One of the big problems that newer people have with the single leg is that when they pull it up, they keep their butt out, and their head and chest down. Meaning here, I can't do this, pull it up and keep my back here. Okay, I gotta get my hips underneath me. So when I'm pulling that leg up, see that Mike's leg is up here by my collarbone. I'm kind of yanking my elbow up high. Okay, I'm not securing here yet. Okay, this is a whole nother finish, a whole nother things you could get into. I'm taking from mid-level to a quick high finish. So when I get up here, his leg is up high, across my collarbone here, my elbow's high to the ceiling, and this arm is underneath by his knee, elbow crack to his knee. I'm up high. Okay, it's much harder for him to defend from this position than it low here, it low here. So when I take this up, when I make the transition from my flank up high, watch my hips. As I'm flanking, I take it out, watch my hips now. My hips go up, and they step in. Out, up, in. Now this leg's up high. You see this step? I stepped in a little closer to be able to trip. Okay? To pull it straight back, I flank. Now watch, when I'm pulling up, I'm just yanking this thing. Here. See, I didn't get Mike there. Well, it's still a good finish for me here. I change. Step. Hooking and tripping. I like to hook and trip because you get a little bit guys that have good balance, and they'll actually jump over your foot sometimes. If I get this up here, and I go to trip, I've seen guys be able to hop. Well, sometimes when they hop, that momentum takes you down. So if I'm here, and I go to trip, and he hops, oh, that goes down. He's able to sprawl on me. So I want to secure it. I want to hook that leg, secure it. When I get here, I flank, I get momentum, I take it up, in. See how my hips are in? Almost like I don't even need my hands. These are guiding. As I step in, I'm closing distance, I'm hooking, so I could I'm trapping it. And when I hook, I'm kind of hooking here. Hooking kind of at the knee and slide my way down the shin. I'm hooking right there into that drop. Okay, so momentum. Using my flank as my first finish. You hit this single leg, and I come up, and I come in a little down, I move. As I'm moving, that leg's coming out, I'm moving, that leg's coming out. I can take him straight back or up in, trip. Get my takedown. One of our first high finishes. So transitioning from our flank, another one of our mid-level finishes was running the pipe. Well, I'm going to use that running the pipe to get the foot up high for my finishes. Now, in order to do this, I got to have good hips. Okay, so in wrestling and like every other sport, I'm not just trying to use like one body part or two body parts at a time. I'm trying to use my whole body to kind of create an action. If I'm able to do that, then, it kind of could put me ahead the majority of the competition. So I'm not so limited. Okay, so from running the pipe, okay, everything I'm doing from that mid-level is securing, keep him off balance, kind of keep him hopping. Try to score from that mid-level. If I can't, then I bring it up. So if I'm here now, okay, we worked our flank. Well, now we're gonna run the pipe again. Okay, so I'm just taking a step out to the outside. I'm gonna run the pipe here. Okay, now I'm feeling like I couldn't score on him there. So now what I'm gonna do is, as I'm gonna clear that leg over the same way I would before, and now I'm gonna use my hips, okay, and I'm gonna swing. See how I'm swinging my arms? I'm not pulling it up and securing it. Okay, I'm hip. You see how my hips go? Now a lot of times if my head's in here, okay, I'm gonna actually kind of throw my head. You see how I throw my head? Okay, and move his chest to make him go backwards. So I'm pushing his chest back and I'm taking his legs out. So it comes out. Now from here, I can pull it up. I can pull it up into my high finish where I'm here, where I'm split, elbow to his knee. I'm up high here. And then again, I could go and look at trip him to his back. But the emphasis of I run the pipe, I boom, I push, I swing. Hips come in, leg comes in, head throws, arms swing, and I'm taking it up to the ceiling. Now from there, I'm able to switch. See how I'm able to switch. I swing it up, boom, and I look to trip from there. So starting from this side, I have that I run the pipe here, boom, bam. In. See, I gotta make it automatic that when my hips come in, it closes like a door. The door opens and it shuts. Okay? The door opens, shuts. Right here. Now that leg is up. It's setting high on my chest, high by my collarbone, up here, tight here, and then I can look to trip. As opposed to stepping, swinging it, and I'm back here trying to finish now. Okay? Now I gotta readjust. So making it a habit that when that leg's coming from my legs up high, when I'm opening, I shut that door. I shut my body to them, and I'm closing distance with my hips. Everything is about closing distance with those hips. If my hips are out far, I can't reach. I want him in here. See how tight I am in here? I'm taking his knee, I'm actually bending it. Okay, this is one of the most important things about finishing from up on your feet. If I'm back here and this leg is straight, it's hard. Everything's far away. I gotta find a way to be able to get my feet closer to his back foot there. And by doing that, I gotta be bending that leg to put it here. Okay? And I do that with my hips. Okay? Another thing too. Sometimes you can get where my forearm here, right on his toe. So now I can even use that to lock his foot out straight. So if I'm pulling this up and this leg's out, well, sometimes you can go toe down, run and kick out. So if I'm able to secure it here, now it's even harder for him to get out. Where I'm controlling his heel and I'm controlling my forearm against the outside of his foot. Now I'm here. And Mike will tell you that I'm putting a lot of pressure with my chest and my elbow and I'm taking his foot out now. Now from here, I'm able to close, I'm able to trip. So we worked our flank, how to clear it, bring it back up. Well, now we're going back into running our pipe. So I'm in here, okay? I run my pipe, I step out, hips coming, hips, and my arms aren't bent. See my position here. I swing, close. Open and close. Open, close. Foot step, looking to step, and trip them behind. Okay? Chain wrestling still. It's still a part of chain wrestling where we're clearing from that mid-level, taking that foot up high, and going to score. So now, ideal finish. We got the leg up. We had it secure in our elbow, and we're finishing pretty hard. Well, now sometimes when I come up, that leg gets pushed back so that his ankle is kind of close into my armpit right here. Okay, so say I hit this single leg, this swoop single leg, bam, I come up, I hit a flank and I pull up and I get to here now. Okay, so you'll see this a lot of times too. And a lot of people get taught this way also. Okay, I prefer take it, go take them down right away. But a lot of times you get caught here. Okay, now, from that transition, it's here, I'm up, and I close off here. Okay, now, his ankle is in my armpit, and now I'm wrapped around. Now what I want you to see here is that I want to keep this hand up high. If this hand's up low, you see what it did to his leg? It started taking his shin or his ankle out of my armpit. So I want to be trying to keep this ankle up in my armpit right here. Okay. Now, what you can't see is also is that I'm taking my forearm and I'm ramming it right into his calf muscle. Kind of right below his calf muscle, kind of right above his Achilles. So when I have it here, I'm here, kind of thumbs up. Thinking thumbs up here. Now from here, a lot of times I could even use a little extra pressure where I'm tight here, I'm tight with my arm to my body, and now I'm taking my hand, I'll even grab my hand, and now I shove it up. You see what I did with his knee? So before, what I was talking about is it's hard to finish from here when that knee is straight. So I got to bend that knee. So even if it is low here, grab my hand, I'm going to start ripping it up. I'm going to start ripping my shin up, and I'm going to start closing my hips in. See how I'm closing my hips in right here? All right, my leg's up here. He got his leg up. I'm closing him in here. I'm using my forearm here to close the gap. Now look, also what I did is that when I'm down here and I'm grabbing, I'm pulling up, I close distance with my hips. Okay, this helps me bring things closer together, or it brings my hips closer in so I can look to finish. So now, when I get this up and my hips are in, I'm going to use my back hand. I grab the back of Mike's head here, and now I start to circle him down. As I'm circling him down, I'm keeping this hand up high, okay, almost like I'm grabbing my pec. If you want to grab your pec, you can. I'm moving here. As I'm circling, I'm just going to put my foot out, and I'm going to trip real low right on his ankle. Here. Right down to the mat. So just some fine key points to that. I'm in here tight, okay? I'm not, like squared off right here. I'm pinning it tighter here, where it's up high. Okay, using that forearm, I'm using my hand. I'll grab the meaty part of my hand, and I crank it up. I throw my hips in, so I'm starting to close distance. From here, I'm able to grab the back of his head, close distance with my hips, stepping, and then tripping. So again, I have that leg up. Okay, say I run the pipe, I bring it up here, and I get pushed out back. Okay, well now I'm looking like I got to put a little bit of a hurt to him. So my forearm's going in, my hips going in. And Mike will tell you that it's digging right into him. My hips come in. I grab the back of the head. I step now. Here's my steps. 1, circle, pull, 2. Okay. Now, real important. What's really, really important is here is that you got to let him fall first. Okay. You'll see a lot with little kids wrestling or some people in jiu-jitsu that are first learning some wrestling moves, is that when they get that leg up and they grab here and they go trip, they fall down with them. And then they create a whole list of problems for themselves. So when I'm going up and I have it locked and I grab the back of the head, when I circle and rotate them, all I'm looking to do is just tap them with that foot. I'm looking to tap him with that foot, little trip, let him fall, and then cover him. So, whether you even want to run it, say you run the pipe. Here, I pop, I bring it up. Here, I'm secure. Hips in, I'm pulling it in, I'm bending his knee in. I can't bend his knee in with my hips out. My hips coming in. It's shorter. Grab his head. To help you more, I'm going to pull his head into his knee. I like to say with little kids, I won't make him kiss his knee. Now from here, I step in, I rotate, trip, and let him fall to the mat. Then from there, I can look to cover. From that mid-level position and clearing up to high, you get some defenses where guys are reaching down and grabbing your hands. It's a really good, effective defense because what they're trying to do is split your lock and get their foot down to the mat. Meaning this. If I have this leg up here, he's looking to grab my lock and split it. And this is really effective if the back hand's not on top. So if the front hand's on top, here, it's easier to pull it off. Kind of if the back hand's on top, it's a little bit harder, but you can still kind of get it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is that whether I'm locked, back hand on top or front hand on top, my partner is grabbing my lock here. Okay, right here. Now, what's helping me a lot hold them up, again, is my knee pinch. Okay, this is those extra arms that I'm using. So if I'm just trying to fight him here like this, it's really hard to do this. So I want to be pinching his legs. Or I want to be pinching his leg with my legs. I have him up here, I'm pinching, and say my lock is here. My partner's pulling my lock up to try and get. What I'm going to do here is, I'm going to take my back hand. Say I'm locked here, or say I'm locked here. I'm going to take my back hand, the hand that's wrapped around the leg, I'm going to roll it over the top. So I go from here, I roll it over the top, and I can break that lock there. So when I'm here, I take the back hand, I roll it through, I roll over. Now, as soon as I roll over, I'm clearing. I'm splitting my leg hand down, my leg's coming here. Now I could go into all my other finishes from up high. I can bring it up right away where I'm stepping in and tripping. Okay. Or I roll, I break it out, I'm here. Or I'm tight. Hips in, grab the back of the head, rotate, tripping them. Okay. It's just a really good position where it helps you also just move that backside. And like I said, this is all chain wrestling that comes together. Where I'm here, I got the leg pinch, he starts breaking my lock, well, I break it. Well, maybe instead of breaking it, I run that flank. He stays up, I come back up into him here. And look into that trip. Okay, so just a real helpful troubleshooting for you where I have that leg at the mid-level and I want to get up high, and this guy's grabbing my wrist. I'm going to roll the lock. I'm going to roll my wrist over, break his lock, split him, and bring it up. Where I'm here, he's on my wrist, I break. I roll that lock. Arm that's around the legs, rolling, breaking, slide, up, and finish. Let him fall first. Sometimes when I get that leg out, I get pushed out on that single leg where that leg's straight. Meaning here, I get that leg up into my armpit, and I'm pushed out here kind of straight. I'm having trouble hooking or bringing it back under. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try to transfer his leg from underneath my armpit to the top of my shoulder. Now there's a couple ways to do this. One, we're going to work on where we're going down to our knee first. So when I'm here, I got this leg up. I'm going to drop my back knee down to the mat, and I'm going to uppercut my backhand underneath. So I'm going to go here. See how my knee goes down to the mat, and I'm uppercutting and put him on this shoulder. Now when I come up to my feet, I'm transferring from this shoulder to my other shoulder. Up to here now. Now I have him on the top of my shoulder. And this is kind of the concept that the higher I could get his leg, the easier it is maybe to finish on him. Okay? Now from here, I get that leg up. I could even just grab on his thigh and I could try to straighten it, circle in front of him and set him down to the mat. Or I could look to try and grab his head, pull him back in, step, and trip him down to the mat. Okay, this is a really kind of good finish that those guys are real flexible, kind of being able to get it up to your shoulder. It's less likely for them to funk because it's a high jump for them. I mean, you might get someone crazy to do a backflip on you, but that's a rarity. That might be 1 in every 1,000, okay? So I get this leg up, and I transfer it up to here. I got it in this position right here. I'm going to drop my back knee to the mat, and I'm going to uppercut. When I uppercut, again, I'm going to put it on this shoulder right here. So I'm dropping, I'm almost turning away from him right here. Where that knee's on the mat here. Now as I transfer and come up, my hand comes off and under, and now I'm onto that other side. And when I grab here, I like to grab above his knee and above his shin right here. Now right here, I basically kind of own him. Okay, the only thing I got to watch for is this guy to try and dive and duck underneath, but you know, Mike will tell you his leg is so up high, you know, he's going to get spiked on his head maybe. So if I'm worried about him rolling too, I'll just go get his head right here. Now from here, again, I'm going to pull his head in. I'm going to make him kiss his knee. I step in close with my hips. And now as I start rotating, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to catch right behind his heel right here. Step, catch, circle him down to his back. It's a real kind of fun finish. Okay, it works level changes. Definitely a good one to even warm up with. You're bending, you're stretching this guy out. Okay. Now, when you get the motion down of turning your shoulders and bringing it up, well then you could just bend your knees and you don't have to hit your knee to the mat. So if I have his leg up here, I'm just going to dip. So I just dip right here. So instead of hitting that knee to the mat, I dip. And then I'm up. Right here. Then I can grab, kiss his knee, trip, and down to his back. So this is real good when guys are pushing you away, pushing your hands away, okay, and just putting a hand up here. You see now it's up high, you know. So I could rotate them, or I could really just keep running into them, setting them down. Right down to the mat. So, transferring the leg from the armpit up into the shoulder. Controlling the knee, controlling the body, getting that height from them. You might be wrestling someone where the leg gets just so high that they just tip over. Okay, but transferring from there, armpit up into your shoulders, controlling them, and taking them down to the mat. Another good one, I get caught up here. Legs up in my armpit. I'm kind of staying away. Maybe I'm having trouble reaching at his head. I like to control the knee here. So I'll show 3 different finishes from controlling the knee, okay, instead of the head. So the first one I'll do is, as I'm getting this up, remember I'm trying to keep this up high. The higher I can keep this up, the better it is. And I do that by keeping my hips in. One of the hardest things, like I said, is that people are out here with their legs and their hips, trying to reach, trying to do things. You know, keep yourself underneath here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to control that knee. I'm going to reach across with my backhand. I'm going to pull the knee here. So I'm forcing the knee into an up position. From here, my hips are in. I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to crack them down. That way. Okay. I get his leg up. I'm controlling the knee. Okay. Controlling the knee here. I'm pulling them here. That's how I'm circling them. Here. Catching. See how I'm just kind of reaching out and kicking them. You could kick a lot of different ways. You could kick with your toe. Okay. I like to kick almost with the inside of my foot or even with the bottom of my shoe. If you want to watch how to use your feet on taking guys down, you know, and learning how to use your feet, you know, Steve Mocco's got a great video on foot sweeps. Okay. And it's a great way also that you learn how to take people down even when their legs are up, how to hook the foot, how to do those all different kind of situations. So I'm grabbing that knee, I'm stepping out to the side here, and I'm tripping. Okay, I use the bottom of my shoe or the inside of my foot just to help. So 1 is taking them back. 2, instead of taking the knee this way, I'm going to use my forearm and I'm going to crack the knee across. Okay, so now I'm putting them down this way. As I crack that knee, I'm rotating that knee down, over, and now I'm running the backside down to the mat. Okay, almost like I'm keeping that leg up and I'm pinning. I'm going to try and pin that knee down to the mat. So when I have it up here, I'm pinning here. Rotate. As I'm rotating, I'm going to circle around the backside here. Right here. Okay. From this position, I can get back control. I can run down leg laces. I can secure my takedown in folk style wrestling. Okay. And 3. I pulled here. I crack down here. Well, same thing. It's chain wrestling. I crack this knee down. I'm moving this backside. You see, his hands hit the mat. He squares back up. I'm going to run right into it. I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip step right in. I'm going to uppercut and trip. So I'm here. I push him down. His hands hit. As he's coming up, boom. Right there. Keeping momentum going. Keeping chain wrestling going. The better guys you start to wrestle, the more finishes, the more combinations you're going to have to put together to get these guys down. Okay. So when that leg's up, I'm pulling here, trip, move him here. He stays up, up. Take him down. Let him fall first, and then look to cover him. Okay. Using all different, you know, you might have to get physical up here. Okay, when I get a guy's leg up in my armpit, he's going to be pushing away on me. I got to be able to smack those hands out. Okay, smack those hands out of there. Okay, smack them out. Boom, crack them down. Here, here, tripping here. See how I'm making them hop. Even that as a part of your warm-up, where you're focused on how to keep his leg up, pulling his leg. You know, partner gets the flexibility, balance. Okay, so getting that leg up, flanking me, pulling it up. I'm stuck here. Smack those hands away. Control the knee. Pull him back. Crack down here. He stays up from the crack down. I'm winding up. Uppercut and stepping in. Boom. Getting my takedown. Another problem kind of solver is when you get that leg up, guys really are pushing you out with their hands. Okay, it's a real good position because it's real hard to finish. You know, like I said, when you're back here. Okay, and then the longer you hold this leg up, obviously, like the more worn down you get to feel. And then sooner or later, that leg kind of drops. Okay, and you might be up there for 20, 30 seconds. You put yourself in a scramble, and you know you better be in shape to better recover and come back with another shot. Okay, so you know, using another problem shooting from here. So say I get his leg up, I'm here on here. So all our finishes has happened with the leg on the inside. He's pushing me out now with my chest here. A lot of times they'll even try and get on your hands. Like you're going to reach underneath and peel it and get their hand down. Okay, so that's another big emphasis of why that hand is wrapped around the leg to keep it up high. Okay, so I'm always trying to keep this hand up high. When I'm holding this arm, so a lot of times if I have my hands locked here and I'm trying to pull it up, my partner, you know, is trying to go for my hands right here. Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a circle drag. So you see how Mike is grabbing my hand right here? I'm going to circle drag from the inside. I grab his wrist here. Okay. Now, there's kind of two ways. One, I kind of now have him here. I can maybe pull him down and trip him. But another way also, I could feed it to my hand that's underneath. And now I have him trapped. Now from here, I could come back in, grab the head. And you see, every time I grab the head, watch my foot, it's always stepping in. Okay? Now from here, I got him trapped. I could trip him down to the mat. And now when you're tripping him down, he's locked, his arm's locked in here. So this is a really good kind of combination, little sneaky attack where I'm circle dragging that wrist that's on my hand to catch. So I'm here, he's grabbing. Even sometimes here, you see how he's even pushing? I might even be able to just grab him. Okay? I might even be able to just grab him off here. But a lot of times I'm here and they're fighting my hands. See, I'm coming with a circle drag here. Wax on, wax off. We used to say that a lot when we were little kids. You know, wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi, Cobra Kai. So right here, I'm circle dragging, I roll, I catch. Now even right here, I might be able to trip him here. See, even here, I'm looking even to catch. Catch there. Okay? If I'm going to try and do that and grab, when I'm grabbing the wrist, I want to focus on my middle finger grabbing my thumb. And you can feel right in between your hand and your wrist, there's a little groove, like a little joint right there. It's a good grip to have right there. So I'm catched right in between there. It's that little kind of sweet spot where it doesn't slide past that. So I'm in here, he's pushing off my hands, I circle drag to here. I'm catching. Now from here, as I'm circling, I'm yanking him down and I can catch here, down to the mat, where he's falling. Or I'm going to circle drag and feed it and grab the other hand. The leg is up, he's pushing out on me, I circle drag and I grab. Now I got his leg trapped. Okay, and it's kind of just stuck in that circle. So I'm here, I reach up for the head, I circle, bam, tripping him down to his back, right here. Now I look to get back points or look to catch him. It's really kind of good. It's just kind of good that when you're up here, you know, he's pushing on you, you're smacking around, bam. Right there, I'm looking to finish. So, circle dragging, re-catching the wrist, pulling him down. You know, a fun one for you to try even in practice or, you know, say even in competition, just kind of a fun highlight move is when I got that leg up, I'm going to duck under it and I'm going to come up to a cradle. So a little crazy, but, you know, fun to try out and fun to do. So when I have that leg up here, okay, now remember that we went down to our knee and we threw it up on our shoulder, but we ducked here. Well, this time I'm going to duck my head completely underneath them. I could hit my knee, okay, or I could just roll my head underneath it. So when I'm here, I'm ducking, I'm rolling my head underneath. Now I let go of that leg, I come up, and I grab. Now from here, I can step, turk, and take him down right to his back. Definitely a highlight type of move. Not your highest percentage, but just kind of fun to do. And it's fun to do just for your body mechanics. How to duck, how to get underneath the body, or get underneath the leg. Opening your shoulders, opening and closing your shoulders. You know, I know that, you know, Coach John Smith has some technique videos out there also. If he gets into his high crotch series where when you're pulling to the leg, you learn how to open up your shoulders. And it's the same type of motion where I'm facing one way, I open, and I can kind of close. Okay, so I get that leg up here, and this is just fun. Okay, especially if you're a shorter person too. Okay, or this guy's keeping you out. I'm ducking. Boom. See, I'm rotating underneath. Here, I can hit my knee to the mat. Now when I come up, I got to keep it on that shoulder. Now when I come up here, see how my shoulder's almost in right underneath his knee? I can even just take him straight up. Right here, I'm closing the gap. Step and trip him right to his back. And I take it there. But it all works out of combinations too. We covered our wrist roll here, where I got this up, this guy's keeping me out. I circle drag this wrist, I move him. You know, maybe I'm tripping him. I can't trip him. You know, now I can duck him. Right into that cradle, okay? I'm out here, you know, I'm moving him. You know, here. Stepping across. You see how I'm closing the gap. I'm closing my hips into that leg. Boom. I could trip him right to his back. Take him right down. So, fun one to try out. Not probably the highest percentage, but it's fun to do. So all our finish that we showed, it was leg on the inside, clearing it, and putting it to the inside of our body. Meaning from here, clearing, put it on the inside of our body from here. Well, there's times when this leg comes up, and it comes up on the outside of this body. Okay? That's kind of one reason why we started the sweep single leg or the single leg of trying to beat our knee around the corner. Well, sometimes you don't always beat it around the corner. Like I said, we're trying to do things kind of at the highest percentage here. But sometimes I get my leg in front. Maybe I hit a single leg here, and I react, and I get close to here. And now I drive up to my feet, and now I have this leg on the outside of my body. Okay? We'll get into some finishes. We'll have to get into some finishes from here when we start taking things down to the mat. Okay? Now, same concept. When this leg is up in my armpit, I want to keep it up in my armpit. I'm going to use my forearm again, and I'm going to be driving into that calf, keeping my hips in. Okay? Now, the first finish and the first best finish is I'm going to come across, I'm going to crack him across the face with my forearm, and I'm going to take my back leg, I'm going to trip, and I'm going to sit him down to his butt here. Down to the mat. You know, Coach Smith's got a lot of videos. I've had, you know, the honor and privilege to be around him, you know, for the past 18 years in my, college career and my coaching career. I got to pick up a lot from him. And one of these moves like this, if you go and watch his 92 Olympic finals, he hit this move. And I want to say it was like the first takedown, in the match of the finals. It's a good one you could YouTube and check out. Good live action of this move. And I think he got into it from a scramble situation, from either low single leg, sweep single, or wherever it might be. It came out. But anyways, you're coming up to your feet. Maybe I'm here and I bring it up. Okay, I'm up here. I'm bringing it up here. Now, first finish, I'm keeping it up, keeping my hips in. I'm grabbing that fat part of my hand, I'm keeping my hips in. Now from here, I'm cracking. Okay, I'm using that forearm and I'm cracking them right across the face here. Boom. And tripping them. Right down to the mat. Okay, now, you could trip him down to his butt. Okay, or sometimes you could come across the head and you can step even right to a Turk. So if I'm here and I'm up here, I can grab here. I can step in, I can step the Turk, right down to his back there. Okay, but the same concept. Legs on the outside, I go find the head, I crack him to his back, or I step and trip him forward. So hips up here. Okay, crack, boom. Right down to his back. And I mean, when you crack them, all within the rules of it. But real good. Bam, right back to his back. And don't do it with your palm. Especially the palm, and it slaps, and it sounds even worse. When it's actually more effective to hit him with your forearm. And I'm thinking about cracking him right across the neck, right here. Okay. I'm here, I'm cracking him here. Okay, I can grab here. I can step into Turk right here. Put him down right to his back or fall right into half guard type of situation. Okay, I'm up, I crack, I'm here, I step. Right down to his back. Another finish from that leg on the outside, that leg is up. Okay, and I'm having trouble maybe reaching to crack him down. So I got to get him moving first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn and I'm going to whip him down here. Boom! Right down to the mat. Now, if you're able to, you might be able to run up here, okay, depending on the person that you're wrestling or the level you're wrestling. And the way I would run him down here is I would climb the knee like I would be climbing a rope. So as I whip him down here, my left hand is going to come to his knee. I'm pull it up. My right hand's going to come up higher. And I'm going to just run down the waist to get to my takedown. So when this leg's up in the air here, I'm going to crack him down here. Boom! Okay, pull him down and run it up. Chase him down. Okay. But a lot of the things that I do with that is really just to keep him moving. So when I crack him down, I'm really just trying to get his hands to the mat, or I'm just trying to get him to keep hopping. So as a lot of times when I crack him down, he's going to pop back up. And when he pops back up, that's when I come across the face and catch him. So from here, I crack him down, he comes up, boom. Right across the face. So chain wrestling again from there. I'm cracking him down to the mat. As he's coming up, I'm covering my hips and taking him back. Closing the gap. I can't emphasize. Close the gap with your hips. Close that distance. I have him up here. I crack. Bam! Here. Cracking him down. Run into my Turk or run him straight to his back. Here. Bam! Chasing him down. Now, you could crack them down that way, where you're really hipping them. Another way I like to crack them down that way is, I like to even just kind of just nudge at him and trip my foot just right on his shin. So what I'm going to be thinking about doing is, I'm going to take the bottom of my shoe, and I'm going to pop him right in his shin right here. I'm using the bottom of my shoe just because I'm just not going to use my toe, you know, and basically crack him with my toe. I'm going to crack him with the bottom of my shoe right in that shin. So when I have that leg up here, my hips are in, maybe I'm having trouble reaching his head, I'm going to step, and I'm going to crack here. See there? Okay? As I'm doing it, my hips are in, I'm turning, I'm cracking here. Right there, I might be able to run up on him. Okay? Right there, I might be able to run up on him. I'm here with my hips. I'm trying to keep my hands back. Maybe he's pushing on my hands. Again, I could start doing this kind of stuff. Circle dragging, catching. Here. Run him down. Okay? And notice that when I'm doing this, my hips are in. Again, not out. Okay, hips are in. Whether I circle drag it to here, catch, okay, or I'm just up here like this. I step in, down, run up the leg, left, right, and cover. I can get there, or again, I trip him with my foot, he's going forward, he pops back up, boom, cracking him right across the face. It's up here, bam, I trap him down, he comes up, oh, right to his back. And a lot of times, you'll end up hooking and just taking him straight back, okay? But I really like these kind of circle drags from here too, especially when guys are really fighting on you, you know? Even just doing this. You know, I'm keeping this up here. Catch him down to the mat, you know? So, my head and chest are back, my hips are in, and I'm using those positions. So, cracking them down, using your arm to wing them down, or using your foot to wing them down. Coming back with all your finishes. You know, bringing it back to the sweep single leg from our knees, we can bypass the whole mid-level finishes and come straight up. Sometimes, especially if you're in freestyle wrestling where a push-out's a point, I prefer to try and get the takedown just because you have a chance at top, being able to turn a guy. But some guys are so hard to finish on the mat that being able to take them out of bounds, you know, earns you a point or depending on the time. So a lot of times when you're down on the mat, you could bypass the whole, you know, mid-level finish and just bring it straight up high. So this is where the different locks come into play, really helpful. So just in our sweep single leg position here, I'm reaching inside, sweeping, I'm down here like this. Okay. Now, from here, as I'm pushing them up here, I'm just, instead of putting them inside my leg to pinch, I'm just gonna step right up and put them up high. Right here, okay? So, from here, I hit that single leg here, I could push straight up, and I'm up right to it. Okay, so I'm just basically pushing them up instead of going to mid-level where I'm pinching. I'm bringing everything up and putting them right into my armpit. Okay, so from here, move over this way. I take my shot, I get that angle, I'm hitting here. Okay, so one, our first grip here, I get to here, I push up. As I start pushing up, I could grab. I could grab to here, or I could grab to here. Pushing them up. Now, as I push them up, this is the big part. You see how I'm staggered? I'm not coming up square. I'm gonna roll my hips, stack that knee, roll my head, and I'm up. Right here. And I'm looking to trip. So, that's kind of the concept. Like, I do want to get to my hands split to here. Just, it helps me be able to keep my hips in and get as like up high. I try not to always settle back to here. Okay, so from that sweep single again, I'm down here. Now from here, I hit that corner. Instead of being here, I go right to here. Okay, push up. See how I'm pushing up? Step, and just come straight up to my feet. From here, looking at my trip. Here. Okay, so from here, a little angle, step, I move, I'm up. I'm up there. Okay, stepping in. So that grip here, as I'm wrapping the corner. But the big thing is popping with your hips and throwing your head. Throw your head and pop your hips there. So as I hit this shot, I step, inside reach or sweep, here. Hands here or hands here. I push up. As I push up, I step deep. Now I throw my hips. I throw my hips. Here. Sink back to here. Do all these different type of finishes. Wrist, cross, head. Okay. Looking to trip. Now, I sweep single leg straight to the knee. I'm here. Here. Up. Up, and look at the catch. Okay? Again, a step, here, up, and look at the finish. So, instead of bypassing all that mid-level finishes from the ground, working right up to our feet, and going right into our finishes. So we worked our mid-level finishes, we working the leg up to our high finishes. So now we're gonna get more into a little bit more of an advanced type of finishes is down on the mat. Down on the mat finishes, we'll take it as basic as we can and develop it kind of up into more of a successful rate against tougher opponents. But finishing low is real important. It's definitely crucial right now in the scrambling abilities of guys. Sometimes when guys' legs get up, sometimes when you get to that mid-level position, guys' defense are so good that the strain and the wear they put on you can really kind of take you out of your game. Okay, so we're going to try and stay things down on the mat, eliminate the scrambles, have a higher success rate on our takedown. It's key to know in wrestling. It's crucial at every level, from a younger age to the highest age wrestler. So starting down low in our sweep single leg, and you can take this again from any way. You could start down low on your knee. You could start in your penetration step, okay, depending on the level that you're at. But same thing, to reiterate on our single leg, I'm down in my stance here. Okay, I'm gonna get an angle on my opponent. I'm square, I'm moving up to the side here. I'm stepping to his leg, parallel to his leg here, and I'm level changing. Again, I'm rotating around the leg, whether I'm reaching with my inside hand or whether I'm wrapping with my outside hand. I wrap around to here. Okay. Now, a lot of this position, the first thing they're going to do
is they're going to start to sprawl. So what I want my partner to do now is just kind of squat down, put weight on that foot. Okay, so I isolate this leg out. Okay, so as I get around him here, he's starting to get into this position right here. Go ahead and lower that knee. Okay, down to this position right here. This is a good way to even just start how to work on my finish. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to shelf the leg. Okay, when the leg's here, I got to get it off the mat, and I'm going to put it onto the shelf right here. Okay, this is the position, this is the ultimate, the best position we could get to on finishes on the mat, where we're shelving that leg. We're picking it off the mat, and we're putting it onto our knee, which we're calling the shelf. Okay, some fine points about shelving this leg is, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep this leg straight here, and I'm going to try and break down at this knee. With this foot here, I'm going to try and trap it on the outside of my leg, and I'm going to use my rib to really trap him here. Okay, so I'm in this position right here. Okay, where I have him trapped here, my chest is over the top, I'm covering the knee, I'm covering the shin right here. So in my single leg again, I hit my shot here, I move, I step, I hit that single leg here, I drive into him. Okay, this is a common position that we get into. Okay, I'm going to keep good position here. The deeper my shoulder is, the better it is for me to be able to shelf this leg. Okay, so if my shoulder's out, if I'm here, I start getting into other defenses from my opponent, into hip wizards, into a lot of different stuff that can make it difficult. So really emphasizing on my shot, getting my arm through. Okay, it's kind of a piece that when I'm working my single legs here, when I step in here and I move, I like to get this arm down to the mat just so I focus on getting this arm through. Okay, this is definitely kind of one of the ones I like to go to first. And then from there, I could transition to the knee, I could transition to my locks here. But getting my hand down to the mat, keeping my hand on the shoelaces or wrapping here. I don't want to be up high. Okay, I want to be able to control his heel. Okay, my partner's going to go down onto his knee. Here, I'm stacking the leg. I'm pushing down with my hand on the mat, and I'm pulling that leg up. Now from here, I trap it. Okay, I'm trapping that knee, that foot right in here, on the side here. I'm using my body. And now from here, I reach across to the far ankle, and I look to get my takedown. That's the most basic finish to bringing that leg up on a shelf position. So from here, I'll hit this corner, I'm into him. Okay, you can see as I'm pushing with my head, my hands stacked, I can lift and put this leg up on this shelf right here. Now from here, I can reach across to this far ankle, I get the score. Turn on this view here, I hit around this corner, I stack it up here. From here, I'm reaching to the far ankle, and I can run them over. There's a lot of different, troubleshooting positions with this. That's kind of just the most basic to it. We'll be getting into a lot more where this guy's doing on his defense, a lot of different things, but some fine points that you wanna have. And when you get around this corner, I hit this single leg here. Okay, I'm focused a lot on hugging his leg with my head in my ear, getting my shoulder behind his hamstring, keeping my hand low to the mat here, and using this hand to post and push. Okay, if I'm down here, I can work different finishes from here, but just basic. I'm here, my hand's through, I'm pushing up, and I'm shelving it right here. Now from here, I'm able to reach across to that far ankle, and I just driving them over. And I'm using that, after that takedown, you can get into your freestyle, you can get into all different kind of skill from there. So now that you kind of have an understanding of the basics of shelving the leg, there's some other points and areas that you really need to focus on that can be kind of a troubleshooting for you, okay, with my opponent. So when I hit the single leg from here, okay, I'm in this position, I drive him over. So my partner's thinking of spalling already. My hand's down low here, okay, my hand's up. Now, when I lift to pull this leg up, you want to look at some fine points, okay, to protect yourself from defense from this guy. One is I'm trapping this leg in between my body and my leg. I do this because if my partner tries to kick out on me, I got him trapped. See how he's trapped here so that he's taking my body with him. Like I said before, on our mid-level, we don't want to just use our arms as grips. We want to use our whole body. So if I have a leg and a body right here, I'm going to use those as extra points to be able to grip that leg. So I'm controlling here. Now, second, I'm really focused on keeping my head and my arm behind here. Okay, this is good position here where my head's looking in. I have that leg trapped, and this arm is down. Okay. 2, when I reach across, we showed just the basic finish of reaching across. Well, sometimes my partner is real good that this leg is far away from me. Okay? So what I need to do is I need to break his knee. And how I break his knee is I'm going to move from this position. I move my chest over his knee and I collapse him here. It's kind of thinking about our position up on our feet where we took our forearm and broke the knee this way. The same kind of concept when I'm down on the mat. And when I have his leg trapped in here, okay, I'm changing, I'm breaking his knee here. Okay. Come back up. That single leg, I wrap, I get it up here. Okay? As I'm going here, if I feel like I want more control, I can go and hug this leg right here. Bringing my chest over and breaking it. Now, other things I'm thinking about is, as I said before, if this leg's far away, I'm having trouble grabbing it, I want to climb up the leg now. So if I'm here and I'm reaching, I feel it's far, I try to break that leg. Well, if I'm not able to break it fully, I get enough for him to bend over, okay? Here, I'm going to change my hands. I still feel it's a little far away. I'm here, I'm going to climb up the leg. From here, I'm taking my other hand here. See how I'm wrapping and hugging that leg and keeping my body in. Now that leg becomes closer where I can actually almost grab his far knee and run him down. So, single leg angle, hitting here. See how I'm picking that leg up. Majority of your finish is the single leg, so you're going to be down here. Okay? I'm here. Now I'm lifting that leg, but it's heavy. I got to put it on that shelf here. Okay? Collapsing. Looking to get to my finish down here. Pulling back up here. Climbing up the leg. Okay. Wrestle me just a little bit right here. So I'm here. I'm moving. Here. I'm moving. In. See how I'm keeping into him. I had to make a knee slide from here to here to put it up. Collapse. Re-grab. And chase him down. So, I'm thinking of those points. I get to that single leg here. I stack it up. I start feeling this guy kick. I keep him trapped. I'm here. And just put yourself in this position to work on your grips. Just have your partner kick. Have him keep his leg out. Just work on collapsing. Keeping my head in. My chin's in, my head's in. I'm hugging with my ear. I'm in here. This is the ideal position to finish down on the mat. Okay? Collapse. And chase him down. Right there. Okay, so we're going to keep trying to take this in steps. Okay, when you're hitting that sweep single leg, you're hitting that inside reach single leg, and get in that corner, we're kind of that ideal position where we're able to get it up, the common position of stacking that leg and change it across. Worked a little bit more of just that troubleshooting of being able to collapse the knee. Okay. Now, when you get into it and guys get to further defenses, okay, we'll kind of wean our way into that hip lock a little bit tougher. Okay, so when I hit this single leg, I'm hitting that side, I reach and I get to here. Well, now my partner starts to feel it and he started to sprawl before. Okay, now I'm in this position, okay, where my shoulder's behind the knee, okay, he doesn't have a full hip lock. What we're saying by a full hip lock is where he's grabbing his own ankle right here and he's kind of trapping my arm in there. I kind of have him halfway beat where my shoulder's behind, okay, my body's a little bit out to the side. Okay, so what I have to do here is I have to work and get this corner. So I'm just going to be working and getting this corner. I'm going to keep my hand on the mat. I'm going to keep my elbow on the mat. You could work with your hand on the mat, or you could change to where you're cupping above that knee right here. This is another kind of good position to be able to kind of hold my partner so he doesn't get into that sprawl. Okay, but I like to get here also with my hand through just because I'm able to stick my hand through a little bit more. Okay, now from here, my free hand is going to go and it's going to reach back and it's going to control the toes. Okay, it's going to control right here on his big toe right here. You'll feel that bone. Okay, I say the shoelaces are keeping the toe. The reason I do that is because I'm going to be trying to take his foot from this angle position. I'm going to try and pull it so that's the upright position right here. Okay, if I do that, then I'm able to lock his knee out, and then he's got to worry about, you know, his flexibility and kind of his athletic ability to defend my single leg. So we're down here. I beat the corner, my hand's through, all right? This is kind of just a good drill right here to just work. Now notice that my right knee's on the mat, my left knee foot's up. Okay, I'm using my left foot up because I need to be able to move around the corner. You see how I'll move around the corner here. Okay, that helps me beat it. So even if I was kind of shallow, stay there. Even if I was just shallow here, I can move here. You see how I'm putting weight on my elbow, weight on my hand, I push into his leg, and I move here. Now from here, I'm taking that hand, I'm reaching for those shoelaces, and now I'm twisting that foot up, here, up, and now I'm lifting into that shelf position here. Okay. And now we're back to our normal finishes, where I'm collapsing the leg. If I'm able to reach, I'll reach. Okay, climb up the leg and look to our finish. When I have that leg stacked up, some people show going to the waist, meaning this. If I have that leg stacked up, some people show going to the waist. And this is kind of like a strength position. You know, if you have the strength to do it, you'll see it a lot in freestyle where guys grab around the waist, lock up their gut wrench, and try to run them over. Okay, I could get that on guys sometimes where I'm up here, I'm going to just come back up and reach here and grab. Okay, but it's also a last ditch effort for this guy. That if I do everything right and I put it up and then I reach across to the waist, it gives him the last second to hip lock me and throw me down to the mat and look to clear out. And now he's free. So I really want to focus on chasing on that far ankle. Also, when I have that leg up here, and maybe I'm not feeling it, reaching here, I'm reaching here, I could also go back to my flank. Okay, this is another kind of good position for me to use where I'm able to kind of help me drop my shoulder back down, and then I can even run backside that way. Or help me pull down here, grab across. But starting down here, I hit my swoop single leg, I'm in here, my partner goes down to his knees. And like I said, you can start even here out to the side. I post my hand, notice that I'm keeping my head up. I'm not down here. My head's up, I'm running. So I run that corner. Put weight on my hands, I move to here. Enough space to reach, to grab that shoelaces, that toe. I move them out, I beat my knee, and I stack it up right here. Collapse. Flank. climb. Maybe climb to the waist. And that could be better also. But this is kind of improving my position. Okay, so while I'm down there, I'm going to improve my position to go score or to get the corner. So the key concepts of being able to get my arm through, be able to keep my shoulder tight to his hamstring, be able to keep my chin tight, to hug the leg. Okay, I'm always working back to that strong position. So when I hit this corner and I get around here, okay, you'll see that his foot's back here. Okay, well, I got to go after that foot. Okay, my knee's not beat around from the get-go. Okay, it's out here. So I'm keeping my pressure on. I walk my feet back. I step. Okay, this allows me also to reach, pull it up, and catch. You could also feel that when that leg's back, you really go reach with this hand. When I'm here and I'm reaching here, go reach. Reach with that hand. Go get those shoelaces. Pull it up. If he's not flexible enough, I could just take him down. Okay? So I'm kind of working that as I'm moving, I'm reaching, pulling that leg out, and stepping that knee behind. Now from here, don't do all the work right and then try to change off from down here. Stack it up. Get it up. In. And chase him down. So think about in this single leg that when this guy gives me a defense down on his knees and down low, I want to try and focus on beating my knee around that corner. Okay, if I'm able to beat my knee around this leg here, my chances of scoring go up. When it's on the outside, okay, he has the ability to pick his leg up, turn and sprawl on me here, or he has the ability to reach down and grab that hip lock. Meaning if my hand is down here, he's got that ability to do that. He's got the ability to turn. He's got the ability to sprawl on me. And now I got to go into all different other sorts of offense that we'll get into, but just makes my life a little bit difficult. So what I'm trying to do is beat that knee around that corner. So with this position here, I hit that single leg. I'm here, my partner's down on his knees right here. Well, I'm starting to feel this, and I get to this foot, or I'm trying to get to this foot, but I'm still having trouble. Okay, I'm still having trouble reaching it. So I'm going to use my knee. I reach my knee across, okay, here, and now I start scooping. See how I'm able to scoop that leg out, almost like I'm sitting through, like I'm sliding in. Now from here, I'm grabbing that toe, and I'm pulling it up. And now I'm making this transition from off my hip up. And then I'm changing across. And notice that when I stack this leg up, I stay kind of high on him. And I'm chasing them down here, rather than back here or back here. I'm into them here. Okay. So, also the further with this, on all my single legs, you can see that my hand is through, shoulder deep, and my hand's out. Okay, this is why kind of cupping that knee or focus on this is so good, because there's a whole other battle from here. Okay, so I'm here in this position. I start to feel it. I start to feel here. I reach. I'm not getting it off. I scoop that leg. I reach my knee around. I scoop it, and now I sit through with it. See how I'm sitting through? And I'm twisting his leg and his body. Now from here, I'm reaching down across, grabbing that heel, okay, and I'm lifting back into my stacked position. Okay. A lot of different troubleshooting areas you'll get in here. And one of those is when I don't beat all the way around, when I don't beat my arm through and cupping the knee, but rather I'm wrapped lower around his ankle. Meaning this, I got a good wrestler. Maybe he doesn't get fully to the hip lock yet, but I'm here, and I wrap, and I'm down here now. You see this position, where my hand's not above the knee, but it's below the knee. okay? Well, when I'm in this position, what I want to be thinking about is taking my hand and driving it across. See how my hand's kind of back here? If my shoulder gets out, this is a tough position. So what I'm going to be thinking about is placing my head inside that hip and driving my hand through. You see what that does? It straightens it out here. Now to help me even more, I'm going to go and scoop that leg out. Here, here. Now from here, I'm reaching down to those toes, pulling it up, catching. I like to control the knee. Anytime I get a chance to control the knee, I will. Right here. Pulling it up and chasing it down. I'm wrapping around that leg. Well, I don't beat all the way through. I wrap around and I don't get all the way through to here. Okay? That's like I said, it's ideal. Stretching, pulling it up. That's kind of easy. Here, I got pretty good position, but my arm's still below the knee. I'm pushing in, I push this arm across. Okay? Push that arm across. Now I can scoop that knee, put it up. Okay. But really focus on making sure that I'm sealing off. I'm closing off all areas, and I'm closing off a lot with my neck into his body. Okay, so again, from up here, even a little bit different. Here, I hit this corner. See how I'm pushing into him? I'm pushing into him here. I reach, okay, or I scoop. Grabbing those toes, turning it up, putting it up on that stack. Okay, shelving that leg. And now from here, I got him. I can flank, I can grab, I can climb up to the waist, I can climb, run down backside. In all those different positions. You know, one of the toughest positions in that single leg, especially when you have a guy that has flexible knees, or really just real strong, is that hip lock position where he's grabbing around his leg and he's hooked right on his shin. Okay, so what guys will try to do here is they do this where they can pop your shoulder out. Remember, I'm focusing on trying to get to good position where I'm getting my shoulder behind. Well, he's popping my shoulder out and trying to turn me down. So just kind of show you the defense a little bit to understand the defense, and then you can kind of get into that offense. So what Mike's going to do is when he's hipping me down, he's going to be trying to lay out onto his hip and slide out of here. So from here, as he's hipping down, he's trying to look to slide out with that leg. He's sliding out into the straw right there. Okay, and it puts a lot of pressure on my shoulder. Okay, where it's taking my arm from a strong position, it's extending it, and it's putting a lot of weight on that shoulder where it almost straightens that arm out. Okay, other type of defense, you know, here where he's really hipping down, he'll hip down also here, and then maybe he'll spin on me. Okay, into that position. Okay, but what you see out of me is you see my head's down, you see my arms wrapped low around the ankle. You know, it's not in that ideal position. So, but that's a lot of wrestling, and that's a lot of just even jiu-jitsu and other things. It's working your way out of, you know, bad positions, okay, and being able to, you know, improve your position and go to score from there. Okay, so, you know, everything is a kind of ideal world, perfect world. If we're doing everything easy, we're wrestling a person that's maybe not that great. Okay, but the more competition you get into and the better guys you start to wrestle, you know, they force you into these positions. Okay, so we're trying to avoid them from the get-go, but sometimes they're so good at it, they force you into that position. You got to be ready to evolve your takedown and ready to counter to their counter. Okay, so again, I hit this single leg. You know, how do I get down in there? Well, maybe I take a shot from a little bit further away. You know, I'm really focused on wrapping around, and I wrap around that ankle rather than at that knee. So if I'm here wrestle Mike, and say I don't get the corner, say I hit the shot from here, and I pull it, I wrap around here, okay, and he jumps right to it. Okay, this is one of the hardest positions right here. Okay, and now go ahead, Mike. You put a little more pressure on me. Okay, you feel I could feel the pressure of just him just already trying to pull and push me down to the mat. Okay, so what I got to do first is I got to stay strong here. I got to use this hand. I got to post it. Okay, I don't want to be working from down here. Okay, if I'm working from down here, he's able to just keep my head down on the mat. So the first thing I gotta do is I gotta at least post my hand, I gotta try and work on my head position right here. Now from here, I'm gonna work on scooping the leg first. Okay, this is where scooping the leg comes into play the most. I scoop the leg here, I go find it. You know, maybe I'm down here, I'm posting, I change my knees real fast, and I scoop that leg. Now from here, it's gonna be a pressure between his flexibility with his knee and my pressure of pushing in and scooping his leg out. So from here, I'm scooping under, and I'm scooping so hard that I'm trying to break this hand off. Here. Now again, I'm coming down to the knee, and as I start turning this, as you see his knees start coming off the mat, I'm sliding. I'm sliding up. I'm trying to get to that position where I can control his flexible knee, and I control which way his knee's going by turning that toe up to the ceiling. Right here. Now from here, I'm in that same position of the shelf to go score. So again, I hit that turn here, boom, I'm down. Okay? I'm keeping that hand posted. I'm trying to keep my height here. Another thing too to help me is I'm going to be trying to shove this hand across, kind of in that angle it's going. What this kind of does is it helps kind of extend and try to drive my shoulder that's on the outside is trying to drive to come back to the inside. So if Mike has me on the outside here and he's hipping down, I'm trying to push and drive. You see how right there I almost broke his lock already. Here, if I could sit him to that other hip, well, I got him now pretty easily. Okay? But when I'm in this position, it's real heavy. Go ahead and be a little bit heavier on me. So I'm here and he's hit. See there? Okay? Well, I feel like the more I go behind right here, okay, the worse pressure I kind of have right here. And also, if I have him real flexible, he can kind of get into that spin motion that we talked about here. Okay? So from here, I'm going to kind of move back out to that outside. See from here, my hands on the mat, my knees behind, my knees on the mat, I'm here. I'm going to move a little bit out to the side right here, and I start shoving that hand through. Because remember, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to beat my shoulder back in and my head back in. So from here, I move here, I push that leg through. I go scoop, and now I break it. I sit through. See how I'm sitting through now. Grabbing those toes, pulling it up, building, here. Right into that position. Grab it. Sometimes their grip is so strong on that hip lock, I gotta use help from my other hand. So I'll actually take it and rip it. You'll see guys in matches, go ahead and hold your hip lock and kind of turn your body out. You'll see guys on matches like this, here, in this position. And guys have that flexibility and they have that strength to kind of hold them in here. See how my shoulder's out? I'm trying to do this. Well, I'm going to use my free hand now and go take his hand off. I'm going to go grab right at his fingers, his 4 fingers, right here. I'm going to grab them and peel it off. Okay? So as it's here and I'm underneath, I'm starting to try to go through. I'm going to grab those 4 fingers, rip it. Now it comes off. My knee drops. I'm fighting on that shoulder. Because I got to be ready. What he's going to do, he kind of reacts to me a little bit. I'm chasing him down. Okay? A kick out is a really big, popular move right now. Some guys like Chamizo, who has a Fanatic video out there, he's real good at his leg defense so much that, he's able to kick out on people. Okay, so I got to be prepared for that, trying to get that leg up and shoved and put right in. So as soon as that lock breaks, the wrestling is on. Okay, you got to be ready to chase him down. Okay, so I'm in this position here. I'm wrapped around. Go ahead and turn harder on me. He's turned hard on me. See how I'm kind of sitting my body out? I'm pushing. I scoop. I get to here. See, I start scooping here. Well, this guy's pressuring back into me still. He's still strong right here. So I'm going to reach down. I grab those 4 fingers. I break it. Now right here, I got to be ready to wrestle. I got to be ready to try and control that foot, being ready to run this knee up and trap, and I know that everything is probably going out that way. The way that Mike's got his hands on the mat, the way that he's got his foot on the mat on this far side, he's ready to run out there. I got to be ready to chase him down. And it's a race. Ready, go. Ready to look and chase him down. Okay. So I'm hitting that corner. Maybe I'm wrestling him here. I step, boom, I hit that corner. See, I'm down low here. He went right to his hip lock. This is the common position. From here, I post that hand. Here, I start to scoop. Scoop, sit through. Scoop and sit through. If I'm not able to break it, I'm using my hand, ripping it off. Grabbing that toe, putting it up. And now right here, I'm ready to chase him down. Now if I get him here, and he starts running out, you see how I'm kind of trapped? I trapped him here. I'm able to run up, chase him down to my leg laces, chase him down to whatever it might be. So we'll work this position also where this guy's hip lock's so good, he puts your head, down on the mat. And then I gotta work in my position to get myself back up. Well, I'm gonna show you a little bit of kind of tricks to this also. So I want you to be able to see what I'm doing with my hands behind. So when I'm down on this mat, you can see right here, I'm wrapped low on the ankle, okay? He's got that hip lock here strong. So my head's down on the mat. Okay, this is a position that he really wants to get to. Okay, he really wants to kind of get my head on the mat, put all that weight here. Okay, so I'm going to try and work from this position. So as I'm down here on the mat, I'm going to use my head as a post. See how I'm posting up here? Now I'm going to take my free hand, I'm going to thread it through, and I'm going to grab on those shoelaces. Well, it's harder for me to work my way back up to that knee. So I'm going to use my other hand as extra help to push on his heel and straighten his leg out. So what I mean is this. I'm down here, I post on my head. And when I post on my head, I'm not posted pulling back. I'm posted kind of going in. I'm reaching down, grabbing his toe, his shoelaces. Now from here, I'm going to pull my hand out and I'm going to grab his heel. Now I'm going to start to move it across. And you see right there, I'm able to sit on him. Okay? See how I'm able, like I said, our goal is to beat our knee around that corner. So by doing that, I beat my knee around that corner. Well, now I'm back in that position where I'm trying to shelf it up. So a little bit even from this side, so you can see I post on my head. I'm driving in. I'm using this free hand. I'm reaching. I'm grabbing that shoelace. I'm already starting to turn his toe from being down to out. So from here, my free hand here is coming out, back, and I'm grabbing right on his heel. You can kind of see, I'm grabbing right here, kind of in his Achilles, and right on that heel, okay? Here. Now from here, I push it across, I beat that knee. Now from here, I'm pulling it up, right here. Okay. To go in a little bit more of this finish, a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll stay in this position right here. Okay, and like we talked about, we're crashing down, we do all those kind of things, we climb up that leg. Well, you'll see a lot of guys also from here come up to their feet, and we'll say a lot as college coaches, run the backside down. Run the backside down. What does that mean is I'm trying to run this backside down here. Well, when I get this leg up, sometimes guys are so flexible that they pop up on that foot here. And then I'm into that finish where I have to bring it up high, okay? Maybe low, maybe they got their hand on the mat. This is a big position right here. Okay, I'm ready, I'm trapped here, so if he tries to kick out, I'm good. Okay, or I could go here. As I start climbing the leg, I'll run the backside, but I'll run the backside with a flank. Here. And I run that backside with a flank because guys are so good at rolling underneath, meaning when I get this leg up and they're down with that hand on the mat, they're ready to jump over, grab, start doing those kind of, funky moves on you. Okay, so if I'm running that backside down, by throwing that wedge in there, by throwing that flank in there, I can really counter him from finishing. So if it's up here and that hand's on the mat, by throwing that wedge in, okay, it's harder for him to jump through. Then I can run backside, grab, check it out. Okay, so kind of the whole position here, I hit this shot, I'll do it so now I'm kind of facing here. I step to that leg, I reach, he goes right into the hip lock. When I'm down here and he's putting a lot of pressure on my head, what he's trying to do is he's trying to turn that knee out. This is real strong. I'm taking my free hand, reaching through, grabbing that toe, pressure, my hand that's trapped. All I'm doing is just moving it out like a windshield wiper here, reaching up, pushing it up, and bringing it up here. When it's really, really tight, okay, and I'm not feeling that, only just that, I can use my knee as an extra arm too to help bring it out. So I gotta pull, I gotta push, and then I can use my knee as a scoop to even drive it out even further. So that when I'm here, I'm up, I'm going here, here. Well, now I can even use my knee where I'm going here. Now I'm able to pull it up, chase him down. Again, I get up to this position here. Well, he starts getting a little more flexible on me. Run that backside down and chase him. You know, the goal is always to kind of work our way behind, okay? Work our knee behind the leg. Okay, sometimes we don't have that. We don't have that kind of option. Or maybe it's late in the match. Or say you're in freestyle and you want to get a drive them out of bounds, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to work from the outside now, okay? We're going to work on shelving this leg up, okay? Meaning this, I'm going to shelf the leg up here by sliding his hip lock up my knee, okay? Like I said, we're spending so much time on that hip lock position because it's a common defense that guys get away for a stalemate. It's a common defense that guys get away even to score. Okay, so as I'm down here, I'm having a hard position. I'm having a hard time get out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back out to the outside, and now I'm going to point my knee directly into his foot or into his shin. Okay, so I'm making a little ramp with my leg. All right, so I'm going to take that ramp and I'm going to pull his leg so it slides up to this position here where that leg's on the outside. Okay. So I'm here, I'm trying to beat this position. Again, I'm trying to keep this arm through. I definitely always want to try and keep my shoulder and my head in, okay, where I'm hugging this leg. So I'm here, I'll post my hand, okay, my knee comes in as a ramp. Now, I'm gonna, as I ramp this, watch my feet, watch my left knee. My knee's gonna come down, and I ramp it up to here. Okay, see how I switch knees? Now from here, I got height. I'm just going to try and come across. I'm going to step my far leg across his foot and chase him down that way. Just trying to use my feet as an extra way to trap him, to take him down. Okay, so from the backside here, I'm wrapped around. He's got a heavy hip lock on me. I'm trying to beat the corner. I'm trying to do all this stuff. Now I'm going to take my knee. I'm going to shove it right by his shin, okay? Even if my head's down, I got to work the good position now. You see how this left foot is pushing in? Now, I'm going to ramp it. I'm going to slide back, and I ramp. Now from here, that leg comes up, I got height. I can sometimes cheat it for a quick finish, going here. And lift the finish. This is also really good just when he's got that head, down to the mat, okay? Really strong guy, really hard hip lock, okay? A little bit of a shortcut to a finish. So when I'm down here, I'm here, my head's down, I'm trying to do all this kind of stuff, I don't get it. Well, I'm gonna take my knee and I put it back in. So it's from here, it's gonna swivel and back into here. As I'm pushing off this toe, my hand is planted. I'm going to change. Watch my knee change. Knee comes down, slide the ramp, step up. See how I kind of went backwards? Now from here, I can reach across. Maybe I take a little extra knee step, and I catch here. Okay? Because when this leg's up, if I'm trying to reach, he might hop out of it. Here, he's hop, yep. So when it's back, and it's hard to reach, I might take an extra step here, and then trap him. To his back. To the takedown. So from here, I'm in bad position, I'm trying to stay up. My knee swivels to here. Now, lift this up. Don't try and lift it up and keep it down here. I'm shelving it. I'm running it up the ramp. So watch my knee changes from here down. Now I pull it up, step. From here, I'm able to step closer and hook behind that leg, drive him forward for that takedown. Real good position. Okay, but let's evolve this a little bit more. Okay, that's ideal. That's kind of quick little easy two. You snuck them and you got it. Well, it gets a little bit tougher. All right. Another one I like to do from this ramp is I'm down here. Okay, I shelf that leg. The leg comes around, I shelf it here. Now I'm going to throw a lot of pressure into him. Okay, I'm going to turn my hip down. It's like I'm going to re-hip down on him. I'm going to turn down, I'm going to drive his heel to his butt, and I'm going to try and flatten him out. From here, I got it up hard. I turn down, I hit down to the mat. Now from here, I'm able to come down, and I'm able to finish. Okay. Another one, kind of just like almost like a pain type of move that I'm able to just kind of just inflict a little bit of like a, just a pressure point on him to just push him down. So from this view, I'm over here, I'm in that hip lock position. I'm trying to beat the corner, I'm trying to do those things. I really like to do those things where my head, even if my head's down, I'll step my knee around, grab it, trying to do this kind of stuff. Trying to pull this off. Well, even right here in this position, you'll find, guys, I could even get here and then he kicks out, or, no, not come back. Like just get this foot off this shelf. Here, and he puts me right back into it. Okay, or I get out there and he kicks out on me too, and I'm trapped down here again. Okay, kind of just holding on to that leg. Well, as much as he's maybe looking for a stalemate, he may be looking for a score. And I don't want to really sit there and look for a stalemate. So I'm going to go to the next best thing. Okay, I'm going to shelf that leg up. I'm here. I try to do all this kind of stuff. He gets it down. My foot swivels around. It's pointing this way. Boom, right in. Now from here, use this hand. It's hard to do it if everything's down on the mat. If my head's on the mat, at least I have my hand here. Okay, this is going to help push me up. I ramp it back. Watch my pressure. See how my bottom's off my heels? I sink back. I'm pulling. You see how I'm pulling with my foot? I'm pulling, I'm ramping it. Okay? Maybe I go for this and he hops. Now from here, I wing him down. Bam. Okay? Trying to push him down to the mat right here. I'm catching him right in between my hip and right in my arm. I'm wedging him down. And it'll tell you that I'm putting a lot of pressure on him. Now from here, I let go and I come back up. And they all kind of go together. Maybe I wing him down for a second, he pops back up, and I'm able to shelf the leg. Meaning here, like, I'm here in this position, I shelf it, I wing him down, he pops back up, now I'm able to get around him. See that when I get that leg up, I'm always here. I always want to be there. And then looking to chase him down. Okay, in those positions. To keep furthering with it. Okay, when I shelf the leg, guys also post their hands up. This is a great time when I can take everything back up to my feet. Okay, so when I'm down here, I'm trying to get around the corner, I'm missing it, I shelf. And I'm trying to move my head so you can see, but my knee's going from here to here, right across. Run it up that ramp here, I'm here. Now from here, See, I have this leg up. Go ahead and take that hip up. I have them up here. Now I'm going to just drive them up to my feet. I step up. Now I'm in this position. Okay? And we go back to our finishes from up high when that leg's on the outside. So if it's here, okay, I feel right here already, I feel this. Bam! Run him down. He comes back up. Bam! Hit him. Maybe even here, I'm so far up on the knee, I don't really feel that trip right here. I just feel this. Bam. Maybe looking to run him down. Right down to the mat. Freestyle, depending on the time, I can just take it and run him out of bounds. Okay, let's spin around this way. Hip lock position here. I'm trying to get the corner, trying to do that. I rev it up, boom, step. Now, I'm paying a lot of close attention with my head. Watch my head, it's kind of buried by his shoulder. I'm feeling with my head like it's a sensor so that this guy's trying to roll. I'm ready to drop on him. Go roll. I'm ready to drop on him. Catch me in my cradles. Okay, so my head, as I ramp it up, it's pointed right into that shoulder to feel, you know, like sensors that maybe he drops down. Maybe I got to run him up to his feet. From here, swivel around, slide up, head. See my head position right here. Okay? Now from here to get up to my feet, I push him up. Bam, right away to the back. Bam, crack him down. Run up. Here, tripping there. Maybe run up and Turk. A lot of different things you could do from that position where you split and come up. Okay? But those three combinations of being able to slide that leg, you know, slide his shin up my leg here, you know, maybe having an opportunity to run the backside down again, sliding up, maybe having a quick opportunity to step your foot across, winging him down, or worst case scenario, build him up to his feet. Okay, those are all kind of, you know, I like to say second resort because I'm always trying to beat that corner. Well, depending on time, depending on other skills, sometimes I gotta jump to that outside. You know, from that hip lock position, it's another tough way. You know, sometimes I'm trying to beat that corner, it's hard. Sometimes I'm shelving that leg. But a little bit of a sneaky way is that as I'm trying to beat that corner around, trying to beat my knee around that corner. So when I say beat that corner, what I'm saying is I'm trying to get my knee around his leg. It's a good opportunity for a limp arm. Okay? So while I'm down here, I'm around that corner here, as I'm stepping around, I'm feeling this. Okay? I'm going to take my hand. Okay? A lot of times this happens when they're really pressuring back into me. Okay? Maybe here in this position with a hip lock, or say his hand's off his shin and he's pushing down on my head. Here. Okay? This is a tough position also. Same type of concept of the hip lock. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into a limp arm. You'll hear coaches yell, button limp, button limp. So what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to be trying to bump you with my butt, and I'm going to be limping my arm out, kind of just windmill to get it back around. So from here in this position, I can bump. See how I'm bumping him forward? And now quickly I'm going to bring my left hand down to his shoe, and I'm going to limp and come back around. Okay. You'll even see some guys doing this in freestyle. You'll see guys doing real long hip locks like this, like he's in on my leg, and guys going like this to me. You know, all Mike's going to do is just start to bump, and he's just limping, coming around. And I've seen it where guys, maybe at the end of the period, they're trying to get a quick takedown. They might not even reach down for that foot. They just limp it. Meaning like they're here like this, they're wrestling, you know, and here. Now, it looked kind of funky where you're going like, wait, he just took his arm out and just windmilled around. There's actually a little bit of a skill and a technique to it. It's kind of like you're figuring out how to get your arm out. So what the limp is, I'm turning my elbow, my shoulder down, and I'm limping it out this way. So I'll try and do it as slow. Okay, so when I'm here, I turn my elbow down. I'm trying to get my elbow through. Okay, I can't limp from facing him. So I got to try and get a little bit sideways. But position that they might get you in. So go ahead and kind of turn sideways to me in this position. So I let go of the leg, my shoulder goes down, and I'm limping. See, I'm limping with my elbow down here. And now it windmills back around. I'm not pulling my arm out straight. It's turned. Elbow goes down here. We have a move on our feet called the limp arm high crotch, where a guy has an underhook on you from here. And we do what's called a limp arm high crotch, where we come back, we pull, and we limp our arm here. Okay? We limp our arm here. So we're thinking about when we limp here, we put our hand to our back pocket. So we're trying to sneak our way kind of back through and around. Okay? So from down here, it's the same concept. I'm turning my elbow down like I'm putting my back hand in my pocket here, and I'm limping it out and around. So from here, as he's hipping me down, sideways, I limp. Elbow comes down, okay, out, and around. Looking to go. It's a good, easy way, you know, to trick a guy in that sense. I like to control the leg also. So if I'm down here and I limp, I'm ready to control that foot and around. You know, another situation you see this in is when I start building this leg up. Okay, I'm building this leg up and I'm in this position here. Okay, you'll see this a lot. Okay, where I'm pulling this leg up. I have this hand planted on the mat, whether I'm on both my feet or if I'm on one knee. You know, I'm controlling that toe, that knee. Well, I'm having trouble getting back down. Well, it's an easy way to just limp. I limp and I fall behind. You know, so it all kind of comes together in combinations. I'm here, I'm pushing, I'm trying to get them up here, even here. You see how I'm pushing them out? I'm having trouble, limp. I'm here, I get it up. Here in this position, limp. Okay, throwing him right on that mat here, so you know, he's losing his grips. He's got a grip of holding on to his shin. You know, even sometimes they grab behind my armpit right here. Limping, catching that back foot. You know, good easy way, good simple way that I'm able to kind of sneak a quick takedown on them. Okay, so you got to kind of have those type of moves like that. You know, a real good defense that guys do on bottom, guys do from that defensive position, whether it's from the hip block or whether it's pushing the head down. So say Mike is in on a single leg here, what you'll see is a lot of guys doing this kind of stuff, where they're pushing with their back, they're pushing the hand on the head, and they're looking to do what's this kind of spin defense, where I'm laying my back across, I'm reaching for that far hip, and I'm spinning completely around to get around there. And I'm sure there's some fanatic videos out there on defense where guys show a lot of that kind of defensive stuff. Really good, you know, really good kind of defense, especially when guys' heads are down, their elbows are on the mat. Okay, so it's so good that it even happens at the highest level of some of the better guys. So what I got to be ready for is, you know, to counter it. So I like that when he spins on me, you know, I'm going to respin on him, you know, or, you know, it's basically a counter to his counter. Okay, so again, what this guy's trying to do is he's down here, he's below my ankle, I'm pushing off of the head. Here, I'm using that back pressure, I'm turning. Okay, spin this way so you can see. I'm turning here. Some guys grab the far ankle, some guys grab the far hip. I'm turning and coming around up here. Okay, that's where a limp can be helpful. You know, as soon as I start feeling it, I limp out. Okay, so what I'll do is, in kind of a last-ditch effort, I'll sit with him. Okay, so when I'm in this position here, and I'm feeling that head position, I'm focusing on getting ready with this left hand to catch those shoelaces again. Okay, that's a common theme that we've been having, is that this left hand is coming to those shoelaces. Okay, so as he starts to sit and spin on me, okay, I'm going to sit with him. Okay, go ahead, even right there, grab my hip. Okay, I'm going to sit with him. I'm reaching for that leg. I'm pinching this leg back. I sit with him. As I'm sitting with him, I'm limping my arm out, coming over, and catching. And what you'll see a lot is I fall right into a leg on top. Okay, so I'm not only just switching for the takedown, I'm falling into a good position where now I'm on top of him with a leg ride. Okay, so I'll try and hit different views on this. I'm here in this position, I start feeling him sit on me. Well, when I start feeling him sit, I can even post, get my head up, but I'm kicking this leg straight. As I start sitting, my toe goes up. I re-grab, so as I start moving, I re-grab that foot. As I start turning here, I turn over, leg comes in, and I can catch him. You know, it's like a switch re-switch. I'm here, I start feeling, go ahead, go a little faster. Right there. He's spinning, I'm re-spinning on him. There. Catch it. When I'm going around him, I want to try, I'm really trying to get my arm up and across to move into a cross-face position so I can kind of keep him and block him off rather than staying with this switch. So if he goes here slow, I start posting this up here, If I'm here, he might have the chance to re-switch me. Coming back on top, okay? Where he's in a tough position. So I'm thinking about that when I go into that switch position, or when he starts to spin on me and I re-spin on him, I want to think about getting my arm up and over. Notice that we talk so much about having your head and chest up and your back up, okay? I have to do that because that's a good position that I can start to turn and look, get my arm across into that cross-face position. So when I'm here and I start to feel him swim or spin on me, my leg's kicking out straight and I'm just turning. Here, I turn with him. Here, now I'm really turning to here, trying to plant that hand on the mat, head and chest up. Now from here, if he tries to re-switch me, he can't because I'm blocking him. Now from here, down to the mat. Try to stay on your knees a little bit more. So if I'm here, he starts to switch here. Right here. Maybe I'm able to crank him right over to his back. But it's just kind of a funky move. It's even kind of a cool little warm-up to do, where you just put the guy in there, and he's hitting some spins, and you're re-spinning, those hip-hype positions. I talk about it a lot in my youth video. The development of kids, developing them in their motor skills even before you start showing them moves. You really focus on hip-hype positions. Be able to change from one hip to the next hip. Be able to change from your bottom to your hips. Well, those things still play a huge factor that when you get older, you've got to be able to do those things. Okay, so it's a fun type of move to do. It's a fun type of situation. I'm here, I start feeling it. He goes, boom. Right here. Those are wrestling areas, those are fundamental areas that, are really crucial.